not brave enough to live without you anymore.
We will make it back here one day, will we?
Outlander, 7ª temporada. Estreia 22 de junho no TVCine Emotion.
Hi, Anna.
Hi, Sam. Nice to
How
meet
are
you.
Good to meet you too.
I'm from Séries da TV in Portugal,
Cool.
and I have some questions for you. So in the beginning of Outlander, your character Jamie suffered a lot, both physically and mentally, at the hands of Blackjack Randall. And I've read on previous interviews that it was very difficult for you to film some of those scenes. So I just wanted to ask, like, after that experience and after 6 seasons of playing Jamie, is it still challenging for you to play this role?
Yeah, I think life is never easy on Outlander for the characters. You know, there's always a challenge or difficult situations. And that one, you know, I mean, for me, obviously, it was the beginning of our journey on Outlander, and we were quite inexperienced, and it was all new, so it was very hard to navigate. But you know, we're very lucky now that we have a lot more experience. We have a great team around us. We have a new intimacy advisor who's just been brilliant to help us as actors, but also the crew and the production as well to navigate those kind of tricky scenes. But it's not just the intimate scenes, you know, there's you know, some violent scenes or some just very difficult subject matter. But that's what makes Outlander so intriguing.
Yeah, I agree. I wanted to know, like, for you, is it harder to prepare and film these emotional and vulnerable scenes, or is it harder to prepare for physical and action scenes?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think they both have their own challenges, and they take maybe a different kind of dedication or a different kind of preparation. That's I think the brilliant thing about the show is that they do have these scenes that are very dramatic, sometimes taken directly from the book, and they could be, you know, quite wordy, quite long scenes. But I think those ones we really enjoy as actors, to get your teeth into, to really challenge you. But also, I love the action side, and there's always, you know, a battle or some sort of skirmish that Jamie gets involved in. So I really enjoy it. It's always and every day on set is always intriguing.
Yeah, great. Great that you talked about days on set, because my next question is about the experience on set, because I know we cannot really talk about season 7 yet, but I've read that you spend really long periods of time filming, and because of that, sometimes you face like unpleasant weather conditions. So I wanted to ask, how has it been this year filming Outlander again?
Yeah, I mean, we do talk about the weather a lot, but that's because it can be challenging. Last year when we started season 6, it was really cold. We were shooting in winter. Right now we're shooting. I'm very lucky. I'm here in Spain, and the weather's pretty mild. But I know our cast and crew are shooting night shoots at the moment, minus 12 degrees at nighttime. I feel bad for them, but not too bad. I'm quite happy to be here.
That's good. As someone that grew up in Scotland, and also you made a road trip show about Scotland, I wanted to ask your opinion on how Outlander captures Scotland's essence in terms of history and culture.
Yeah, it's I mean, Scotland is another character in the show, certainly in the first couple of seasons. And even now, you know, we shoot in Scotland, even though it's doubling for America. And I think it's incredible that Scotland can do that. It has, you know, a variety of different locations, and I think we've shot in 145 different locations in Scotland. But it's an incredible landscape, and I think Men in Kilts is what I wanted to explore more. I wanted to show, you know, more of the other side, the Highlands and the islands of Scotland that we don't really get to go to in Outlander. But there's so much to explore. It's a small country, but it has a lot to offer.
This might be a very difficult question for you since you've shot in so many amazing places, but do you have some favorites?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think you know, one of the most dramatic places is up in Kinloch Rannoch. It's where the standing stones are that Claire first goes through. There's a great mountain there called Shahali, and it's just a very special place. So we always enjoy shooting there. I love the castles that we've got. Obviously, Jamie Fraser's home, Lallybroch, which is Midhope Castle. That's an incredible site. So we always enjoy shooting there. But there are so many in Scotland. There's so much to explore.
Yeah, I promise this is my last question about Scotland, but it's just something that we are curious about. Since
Yeah.
you're Scottish and you really like Scotland, did this play a part in you wanting to play this role?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I was living, I'd been living in London for 12 years. I'd been in America a lot. And so when I auditioned for the part, I never expected to be back home in Scotland. And I think returning back to Scotland was, yeah, it made me realize what an amazing country it is. And I started to explore it again. I started to go hiking and really rediscover my homeland. So I encourage everyone to come to Scotland and discover it for themselves.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask you if you see yourself playing Jamie for a really long time, if the show gets picked up again for a new season. And
Yeah, I mean, I always thought when we first started, I didn't think, I was like, oh, it'll only last 1 year or maybe 2. And now we're 8 years of shooting, and the story is still going. The fans are still watching. So I think that's the most important thing. As long as people keep watching, we'll keep making it.
yeah, that's great. And do you usually read the books to prepare yourself, or do you just like take the scripts and go from there?
Yeah, I do try to read them. I certainly have the past few seasons. It's hard to get ahead of yourself because our scripts also now jump around a lot. They use scripts from different books, parts from different books, so storylines. So I like to look at you and see what Diana's written, because then you can kind of take some detail from them. But also we are telling, our own version of the books. It's our own story, so they do differ slightly. But that's what I think is cool about our adaptation.
Yeah, that's great. I think my last question would be if you have a favorite season of Outlander overall that you really like.
It's really difficult because I think they all have their own themes and their own storylines. I really enjoyed season 3. The sort of journey of Jamie. He's a number of different characters and has different lives away from Claire. Then the reunion. I really enjoy 4 and 5 in America. Them settling there. 2 was great in France, in Versailles, and of course the return back to Scotland and Culloden, which was a really incredible sequence to film. But I think the original season, the first season, is for always going to be, the OG. It's the where it all began, really.
That was all of our questions. It was lovely meeting you and chatting with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.